James Creighton talks about different lessons that he has learned the hard way. So one of them is the one that we already spoke about. Just never take a politician by surprise. So make sure that you like debrief them in issues that are of high concern in the community and that they might receive a lot of criticism. You don't want, again, the politician to be embarrassed because he or she will not be able to help you in the future. So that you want them to be prepared in the meeting, prepared to receive like comments that are negative, but also prepared in the sense that they took the time to look at the reports and just come up with like good responses for the public. The other thing that James Creighton talks about is that having people looking at your publication, it will take a long time. So usually publications, they always take more than you expect, and the production of the publication can take more time because people always want to give you comments, and there might be different stages in where people are going to give you comments about the plan, but people always leave things for when it's like more pressing or when they're really needed. So you might give someone a long time, a month, to look at this report, and then they just give you rush comments thinking that, oh, this is just a draft, but it's not the final draft, right? So they might not take that much time, and then when you have like the final draft, after you have like already done your first draft, you give them in a month to do it. Then you take this draft, you have a month to like make changes, and then you turn it around and give it back and say this is the final draft, and all of a sudden they give you like a million comments, and you're like, oh my god, where this is like coming from, because I just like asked them to give me some edits about 2 months ago, and now I'm getting all these edits that I have to incorporate. So this happens because, again, people are like trying to react to, oh, this is actually the final draft. So that's why James Creighton is saying you need to schedule more time than you think for the edits. He also mentions the example of that maybe you have a report that is being sent to the lawyer just to make sure that like the things are like clear. You don't want to like mess up some things that have to do with legal language, and this lawyer gives you a lot of comments for other things. Maybe it's a lot of like grammar issues or things that have to do with style. So this is like why it's important that you also tell people like which kind of feedback you're looking for and which kind of feedback you are not looking for. Although like some of this like proofreading and editing could be like very useful to you, but most organizations will have like a manual style that you will write in X, Y, and Z way. So you just follow the manual of style. But the point being is that you do need time, not only because you're sharing and this report is going to be reviewed by different people, but also because you want to polish that report and edit it and like proofread it in a way that is like satisfactory for everyone, and that does take a lot of time. So just make sure that you have that in your schedule ahead of time. So we already talked about the importance of making sure that you know the room that you're going to be and the setting, what you need in terms of the technical items, the projector, which kind of chairs do you have, or like how the room could be arranged, who opens or closes the space that you're going to be in. How need to pay? Are you offering food? All these like details about the meeting room are very important, and James Crimson emphasizes that in this chapter. So then there's also other skills that you need to implement a public participation process, and the list is considerable. Often that means that if you have a meeting, lots of people feel involved in making the program work, and they all want to be in the meeting. So I'm talking about your staff. It's because they have like a buy-in into what is happening, and they have been doing a lot of the coordination, a lot of the work in a community setting. Maybe like your staff with all the interns and different stakeholders and so on, they want all to come to this very important meeting that you all have been preparing for, but you don't want to bring more people that are from your team than the community members. So you don't want to have that imbalance. So it's very important that you will select the people who are going to be there, knowing that other ones, it would be nice for them to be there, but you want to have the community be the majority, or if anything, just like 50 and 50%, just to create that balance. Otherwise, people in the community might not feel that they really want to participate. It feels that it's like more your thing or your meeting, and that they're just like there to like satisfy some demands that you have, or they just simply feel like they cannot speak freely because you have more power in the meeting that they do. So it's again important that for people to feel comfortable and to people to feel that it's a community meeting and not necessarily a meeting that even though it was scheduled by the city and so on, that it doesn't feel that you're like overpowering people. So that's like something that the author says that they have to learn the hard way.